Good morning people and welcome back to the channel. KK and Evie here on the YouTube. Glad to see you back, glad to see you watching this. Can I just say that again, subscriptions, wow, going through the roof. I am now hit 2,500 subscribers and thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed. And if you're thinking about subscribing, please do, it's free. I charge nothing and nor do YouTube. So just click that subscribe button and the little bell icon so you get all my videos come out straight away. It helps the analytics. Let's move on. Right, this is just a quick one. It's not going to be long. It's not going to be me 20 or 30 minute normal regular videos. This is just to say a few thank yous and a few sorries along the way and what we have planned still for KK and Evie the channel. So first of all, I'm going to apologise for the fact that something that we said we were going to do around 6 to 9 months ago will not now happen. So let me explain the first sorry. That is that we are not going to do an electric EV van at this stage. Now, I'll give you the reasons for this. The main one is the fact that we couldn't find the right van with the longest range that we wanted, with the biggest battery, which happened to be the Fiat, for under 25k once the VAT was on there. And these things are now showing 1 to 2 year old, so I've already lost 18 months or 2 years worth of warranty. So it was a bit perturbing to have to pay around 25k for the initial van. Now it had to be obviously an L3 H2 minimum, and to get them they're very, very rare. And so if you were willing to buy brand new, I mean brand new, great, but I wasn't going to pay 40k. Now, there is some advancements being made in EV vans and the mileage and the range, should I say, is getting better and better. I think Mercedes has just come out with one now that guarantees pretty much, even when it's loaded, around 200-mile range, which is great. And things are progressing all the time. So we have decided to leave it for around 2 years to see how the market pans out. That's the one. Now, the range is not the main reason why we didn't buy one, because we are not in any rush to get anywhere and just to stop for 30 to 45 minutes to make a cuppa and all the rest of it and do a bit of people watching while we bang another 100 mile in that thing was no big deal. So do not think that it was the range that put us off. It was the price. 25k for the van. I priced out a roof full of solar with inverter and LFP LiFePO batteries, top of the range stuff. I didn't want no less. I wanted it dead right. And then I priced up having the van converted and doing a lot of work myself. And so it all came about that I would have had to spend about another 20 to 25k on top of the initial van price. So I'd have been 50k down for this EV van at 2 year old, okay, with 2 years warranty gone off it. So we have reconsidered and thought, no. Anyway, moving on from that. So that's my one apology to say that that's not going to happen. Like I said, it was going to do about 6 or 9 months ago, so sorry about that, folks, if you've been waiting for that one. Now, solar. My solar order has been put forward. I've paid a heavy deposit under insurance I had, so I can't lose that money. And also, I'm waiting now for the delivery of these panels from China. So I'm quite looking forward to getting them fitted. There'll be a 13 panel system going on my roof, but I won't tell you any more details because there'll be a big post about this when I get it done. Bear with me on the solar, it is happening. Just as I was going to put this out, there's been some great news. It's been brought forward to June 30 for the solar. Right, the next one I'm going to say a bit of a sorry about, but not a big one on this because it's still ongoing. I posted a video, again, 6 to 9 months ago, about what I'm going to do regarding changing my vehicle. And this was all meant to happen just after the new year, or before Christmas. Well, it didn't. I have kept the Tesla Model 3 because it's such an exceptional vehicle. No matter what people say about Elon, I don't care what you think about Musk. The car is not the man. So because of that, I've kept the Model 3 at this particular time because I've still not found the right vehicle to replace it. Now, in that post, and it's that one there, if you want to go and look at it, I mentioned about 3 or 4 vehicles that I was going to buy. It's not come off yet. One of the vehicles that was in that video, I'm still thinking about buying. But I've also made a video since then about the late 2024 Mach-E, for example, that one there. Go and watch that if you've not seen it. You don't even have to be into Mach-E's to get what I'm coming about on that with Ford dealerships. They're ripping people off or not. you'll get that if you want to watch that video. But yeah, the Mackie is still on the cards, and also so is the Genesis GV60. They're the real only two cars I'm thinking about, because I now want to tow with an EV. Now, this is another story. So what we're going to do now is, we have decided, the wife and I, instead of investing say 50k plus and doing a lot of hard work into the EV van, we are still going to go RVing, but we're going to buy a small 2-berth, brand new or 1-year-old caravan, okay? Trailer, as my American subscribers, hello USA. Yeah, so we're going to go back into the RV thing, but we're going to do it with a caravan, and we're going to tow. My next EV is dependent on what it can tow and how big the battery is to get the most out of that towing scenario. Because we all know, present day EVs ain't the greatest thing for towing as regards range. Now, if you don't mind stopping and towing, you know, and charging up for 30 minutes every 120, 140 mile, there is no issue with them. They are brilliant things to tow with, because the torque and the speed is super. And going uphill and everything, there's none of this struggling with a diesel. You are there and over the top and back down that hill, and completely different things to tow with. So don't be put off by using an EV, you know, in the RV sector, towing a caravan. The RV that we're thinking about is just over a ton, okay, laden with everything. So it's no big deal, no big caravan, but it's a lovely 2-berth Bailey thing that I'll show you when and if we buy it, and I'll do a complete post about towing with it. Now, if I go out and buy the Mackie, for example, with the larger battery and the single rear motor, that thing on WLTP, take no notice of them, will give me around 365 to 370 mile range. That's bull. We all know it's bull. On a good day in the summer, 300 is very, very possible from that rear wheel drive, single motor Mackie with a larger battery extender. Basically, with a 300 mile range motor, it should give you around 170 to 175 mile of range, towing a 1.5 ton caravan stroke RV. So I'm very, very happy with that. I'd be happy with a 100 mile range, but to get 150 to 175 mile range, that gets me to the west coast of Wales from where I live. It gets me to the east coast very, very easily of England. It gets me down to the other side of London. In fact, basically it nearly gets me to Brighton, not far off, on one full charge. So very happy about that. And then obviously when I get on site, I'd charge it up when I'm down there not using the thing. Bear with us, because it might not be till next year that we get on board with that. So that's something else that we are seriously looking at on KK and EV. Now, you all know that I've been spending a lot on my bungalow, my last property ever. And I've completely renovated the thing, redecorated everywhere, but I'm not going into details about it, because we decided that our little abode here was for our own personal thing, and it wasn't going to go on YouTube. The only thing going on YouTube about this debunga, as we call it, is anything to do with renewables and sustainability. That's why I've mentioned the EV charger, that's why I mentioned the solar, that's why I've mentioned and done 2 posts regarding my heat pump, which is now brilliant in the back garden there. So yeah, I've been busy, very busy with that. So YouTube videos and posts have had to take a bit of a backstay while I get this sorted. I am now on top on it. I'm sitting in the studio, as you can see behind me, all rigged out with everything now, all the pictures and my past. And if you've not seen this before, let me just show you this. Basically, we've got a Western theme at the back of me here, and then on this side, as you can see, all the films, the classic films that I loved as you know, as a younger person, should I say, and the TV series there, look, Starsky and Hutch, and then I come across to the Cadillac flag, and then above that I've got some more Blues Brothers and all the rest of it, Back to the Future, Smoking the Bandit, The Warriors, classic film. Arizona, love the state of Arizona, and yeah, some things that light up. So I've still got stuff about Camaros, because I owned 2 or 3 major big V8 Camaros. Not that I would now, just that it is part of my past. That's the one. Obviously, standard. Again, some of my cars, big Chevy flag, and then Supertram. and Winchester, because I obviously was into shotguns, and then American Tribes. So that's where I am with this small little studio of mine, all done and dusted now. There's something else we've been doing while I've been waiting for other people to get on with Debunga. I've been in here doing this, so thank you so much for subscribing if you have, and if you're one of the 2,500 subscribers plus now who have come on board. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you know someone who has an EV, wants to know a bit more about renewables and sustainability and all the rest of it, tell them we're here. Get them to subscribe, will you? Because those subscriptions and, you know, clicking on that bell icon makes a big difference to the analytics. So I'd appreciate it. Just before I finish this, we're thinking about going back to the States, but I didn't want to rant about the politics of America at the moment, which is, you know, breaking the country apart. And it does concern us to go back at this stage as tourists, because I've spent weeks and weeks and weeks in the USA on vacations and on holidays over the 45, 50 years I've been flying. And, you know, even me, as a very hardened traveller and road tripper in the USA, I've got concerns about going back, but we are looking for some winter sunshine in the first 2 weeks of January. And if you keep to the Western world, all you've got is the Canaries, really, Tenerife and Fuerteventura and all the rest of it. Or of course you've got Florida. So we're thinking about going back to the US for a couple of weeks, back to our old hunting ground of FLA. We said we'd never go back, but it may well come about, because like I say, it's the only place I can think of where we can get 2 weeks of pretty much guaranteed sunshine, and even down to the Florida Keys if we want to. We won't do the tourist side, we won't do the theme parks, done all that, spend a fortune with Disney. You ain't getting no more, Mr. Disney. But what we will do, we'll do a bit of a road trip round, and I'll film it all for you. We might go up as far as Tallahassee, but we might even go down, like I say, to the Florida Keys. So look out for that one, because that'll be a nice road trip, and it will be with an electric car, not a fossil fuel car. We will be hiring a Mach-E, a Tesla, or even a Polestar, something of that region with about 200 plus miles range. We'll be happy. So yeah, I'm going to end it there. Thanks for watching. This was just a quick update to say where we are with the channel. We'll see you later. Bye bye.